Well, hello everybody, welcome to The Bridge. I'm WSAV's Natalie Hendricks. As you know, we've taken the bridge from the studio to the streets. You know, when you think of athletes, well, they really do put their bodies through so much. Well, today we're going to introduce you to a former professional wrestler. He gave his all in the ring, so much so that it really took a toll on his mind, body, and spirit. Well, today, he's in the best shape of his life, and he's helping others do the same in a very unique way.
This wasn't where Jerry Cameron expected to be, barely able to walk and barely able to stand up out of a chair. Before he started dealing with this, the former infantry soldier got a start like all troops do in his line of work, at Fort Benning, Georgia. He quickly realized the price of his career.
But I got a lot of injuries in basic training with the knees and ankles because you do so much running, you do so much walking.
The damage only got worse. Eventually, Jerry had to get 3 major back surgeries. That should have been the solution, but his days got darker.
All of a sudden, I would start having spasms, boom, that would pick me up and throw me to the ground. So I literally had to crawl to the couch, pull the cushions off the couch, get up on the couch, pull myself up on the arm of the chair, and use the cane.
Then, one day in the fall, everything changed.
October the 6th, that morning, I got up, put on my clothes, sat down on the bed, stood back up, and couldn't move from the waist down. Went into emergency surgery that night, and I woke up in intensive care. I could move my toes, but I couldn't walk.
It looked like this was going to be the rest of Jerry's life. Barely able to stand up and barely able to walk. Then his girlfriend showed him a possible solution.
I had seen Arthur's story before, but I really didn't pay attention to it. But then my girlfriend sent me the link and told me to watch it again. So when I watched it again, I really watched it this time. And you know, it made me tear up because she was like, you know, that's you, you know, and if he can do it, you can do it too.
It was the story about Arthur, a disabled veteran that also struggled with multiple injuries from his paratrooper career. Arthur gained a lot of weight and needed to use 2 canes to help him walk. Arthur used the DDP yoga fitness program to turn his life around. Arthur eventually was able to walk, then run, then do advanced yoga poses on his own. Jerry finally decided to take a leap of faith. He moved to Atlanta and joined up with the founder of DDP Yoga, former pro wrestling superstar Diamond Dallas Page.
I could just see, you know, that light in his eyes. And our first time together, I mean, I'm just really just trying to feel out what he can do, and I'm doing everything in the chair. And then I'm like, okay, let's try and get out of the chair. You've been doing it for so many years that you think you can't get out. Like, and I know the muscles, because they're turning on, they're not there yet, but they're around the corner.
While some therapists turned Jerry away, the former pro wrestling champion saw an opportunity.
Attention.
Dallas is using the workout routine he created, DDP Yoga, as the rehab program for Jerry.
Step up. When I started this whole program, it was just to heal me. You know, I didn't start wrestling until I was 35.
He's sucking it up. Page has got the title.
My career didn't take off till I was 40. 1997 and 98, I was on top of the world. I mean, I was living at a whole different level, the dream. You know, I literally was in 13 out of 24 main event pay-per-views or semi-main event. I mean, I was right on the cusp of everything. I just signed a multi-million-dollar deal, and then bang, I blew my L4 and L5 out. Basically, I broke my back. And I'm not talking about just working out for 3 hours. I'm talking about inspiration meets perspiration.
Now Dallas has created his own empire by promoting DDP Yoga through DVDs, his own app, and even his own fitness studio in Atlanta.
Get those stabilizers. Deep breath.
If you're wondering if DDP Yoga works, Dallas says just look at himself. Dallas went on to become one of the most popular pro wrestling superstars in the late 90s and early 2000s. Today, he's using the same techniques to help Jerry recover.
Yeah, take it up, brother.
The results came faster than expected. Jerry's progress has surprised even the yoga guru himself.
Attention. And to see where he's come since week 1, it's really it's light years.
That first week alone, my core strength went from maybe 0 to like 90%, just like that. From sitting down, you know, When I came in, I was like this, you know, and then the next week now, I'm like this, and now I'm able to stand up and put my hands over my head. DDP yoga, you mentioned it, you know, and wonder, well, is it gonna work for me, or can it work for me? It's working. I'm living proof. I seen it in Arthur. If Arthur can do it, I can do it.
Now, throughout his training with Dallas, Jerry has dropped a significant amount of weight. But that isn't the biggest change. After working out with Dallas for several weeks, Jerry has a new mindset.
There's no doubt about it, man. It has helped me reclaim my life, my zest for life. Not that I wanted to hurt myself or anything, but you can get trapped in your own mind and defeat your own self.
Dallas has earned millions of dollars performing around the world in wrestling rings. He's won championships, and he's a member of the WWE Hall of Fame.
Count it back.
But helping people like Jerry seems to be his true calling.
Step up. To help someone literally help them walk again and feel proud of themselves and really feel like they're owning it, like, that's amazing. Now try to straighten that leg out. That's awesome, dude. You couldn't do anything near that.
Today, the Army veteran has a new mission that he's determined to accomplish.
Since I've been doing this program, I've been having dreams every night about me walking or running in some kind of dream. That is no lie. I know I'm gonna walk.
Reporting for The Bridge, I'm Rex Castillo.
I love that story. We'd like to take the time to thank News 3's Rex Castillo for that amazing story. You know, he and our photographer Drew Hunt traveled to Atlanta to meet one-on-one with Diamond Dallas Page, and they both said it was one of the best stories they've ever worked on. Well, now switching gears a little bit and moving on to the gorgeous ladies of wrestling. You know, there's a new Netflix show called Glow. It's a show about a scrappy group of women who helped change the way we think about sports, television, and advertising. And there's one local woman who has a lot to say about it because she actually lived it. Nancy Daly was a gorgeous lady of wrestling. Her character, Dementia 2, was a hit in season 3. Now back in Savannah, we caught up with Nancy to talk about what it was like to be part of one of the biggest cultural hits of the 80s.
Me and my sister used to watch the show, and at the end of the show there was a ticker that said auditions and call this number, and we happened to be able to go to Atlanta where they were holding the Georgia auditions, and we went up there and met the director and the writer, and we both got cast. My sister at the very last minute decided she didn't want to do it, so I flew out to Las Vegas by myself. I walk into this gymnasium full of crazy big women, just little women, insane women, and we all had to get in the ring and do some moves. And little by little, this crowd of a couple hundred girls started to bend down because they couldn't take the bumps, or it was a lot of pressure.
We're going after the devil mosquito. Devil, devil, devil! One bite from it, finished.
Well, now, I had a burrito last week, and it did the same thing.
I love the stories in the show. I love the comedy that they did, all the bits. The wrestling was cool too. I mean, I liked it, but it was really all the stuff they did. So I was drawn to that. I wanted to get to Hollywood some way, and I guess this was my ticket.
The ref barely able to disarm dementia of her acts. It's a souvenir of her days as a hack writer.
I mean, I was a deer in headlights from the beginning because I'm like, is this really what I signed up for? Because it was not even just the getting in the ring and wrestling. It was all the marketing stuff, which I didn't know anything about, you know, so then we'd be doing that at night. Your day started at 7 and didn't end until 10, 11 at night. A lot of the struggles that we went through to get a match that was very difficult completed and that you thought wasn't going to work out, and then we got in the ring and worked through it together and made it work, where before it felt like the director didn't like it. So that was always an accomplishment. So now when I have something that's bogging me down, I don't just throw it away and give up. I work harder at it, and sometimes it comes out even better than the original ideal. So always just pushing through. Glow taught me that. We didn't realize the popularity until after. They kind of kept that hidden from us because we were on tour, and they wanted to keep us, you know, under the thumb. And we didn't really realize that until a little later. But now, for sure, you hear people said that your stories inspired me. Just watching you on Saturday night or Saturday morning, that's all I waited for all week. So we gave somebody a little bit of hope or a smile that afternoon watching the show. No, we have a lot of the fans that were kids then, and they're still fans now, and we are connected via Facebook because of this Netflix series. So they're still there, the diehards and they got pictures of us when we're on tour with kids, and now they're adults, and you see them posting them on Facebook. So that hits you in the heart. That shows really how we hit the audience and how we connected with the audience, our story, and to some young kids, something inspired them by us. You know what? It's good. It is good. I think it could be better had they involved some of the original girls because we lived it, and why not have that perspective? And they didn't even contact us to get story. They kind of got it through the grapevine. So they could have gotten really some great stories from us and really cast a few of us. And I think that would have been the cherry on top, because we lived a life and we certainly could have, shown them. But I really think the stories they're doing are good. It is true to what happened to some of us. So I got to give it a thumbs up. It is enjoyable, and I know they went through in the ring like what we went through, so they are showing that. So I'm enjoying it.
So interesting. And remember, you can see season 2 of Glow on Netflix.